Do 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 dum do 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 dum do dum dum. Just release me. Oh, just release me. Oh, just release me. Just release me. Oh, just release me. Just release me. Oh, just release me. Just release me. Yeah, Andre Wade with Just Release once again. Just come to reminisce about some things. I pray peace upon y'all families today. Pray peace upon those who are incarcerated, men, women, and teenagers. Uh, I know that today is a holiday, and I pray that safety was upon everybody last night, upon the firecrackers and guns that were shooting. But that was a good night, and I guess this would be a good day. Haven't seen the news this morning where anybody got hurt last night, but I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. And today will be another enjoyable day. I know I pray peace upon those who are going to visit their loved ones today. There will be some visitation going on down in Texas prisons. And even if it's just one or two people that can go in, that is a blessing. I uh, I hadn't done any videos the last few days because uh, my producer, he hasn't been feeling right, and he hasn't been in the move, and so that kind of drew me out. And thinking about him and and what he's going through right now. So I just ask that y'all put your prayers out for my producer and that he get well. Uh, been dealing with my new woman, my new lady friend that's in my life. Well, we're trying to enjoy ourselves, not worrying about haters, not worrying about people that's dislikes. The fact that relationships still go on. Happy 4th to you too. Yeah, this is the 4th of July, y'all. A day when so much goes on. Down in prison today, a lot of units gonna be eating hamburgers and hot dogs. And I guess a lot of people out here in society would be doing the same thing, putting them wieners and them burgers, them patties on a grill. Uh, I remember so much of these kind of holidays while being incarcerated, but it's a thing of the past. It's a thing of the past. And right now, I'm enjoying what's going on the 4th out here in society. So with that, I want to talk about, the things that we find out in prison. All right. All right. Yeah. I hear you. I when I was doing time, right, and I was coming up on so many people that I haven't ever known in my life, but I met them in prison. And when we do a lot of time and we live among men that you don't even talk to, that you don't even speak to, and stay on the same dorm, same part, you find out that these men really don't want to deal with you. You find out that these dudes or these men have loss in their heart towards you. And when you find that out, some of us, we act out on it. Some of us, we just don't pay it no attention. And it's like, a person that's that reviews my channel, right, on a daily basis, but may not agree with some of the things I might say or might feel a certain way about what I say, right? Well, when you're in prison, you find out that these men that surround you that doesn't like you, you don't deal with them at all. You don't deal with them at all because they don't like you. There's nothing about you that they like, right? So you don't deal with them. See, if I didn't like something that I came with on a daily basis on this channel and I was watching it, and it's just like any other channel. Some channels don't move me, but it might not be, it's because I know what it's like to go through that. I went through what they expressing, and some things I just feel is not true because I didn't see it. I didn't see it. So I don't speak a lot about things I hadn't seen. I don't think about things that I heard. I speak about the things that I seen, things that I know about. Because see, I wouldn't want nobody to call me fake. Because see, there was a time when I was doing time, you would have never called me fake. You wouldn't have called me that. Because at that time, it wasn't nothing about doing time. I had 45 aggravated. And I served so many years on that. And when I speak of that, it I don't know how it sounds to the next person. I don't know how it sounds to the next person when a man is telling somebody of the time they served or the time they had. See, I pray don't nobody receive nothing like that. Even in today's time, even if the prison is the way it is, it could be friendly, but prison ain't friendly. Inmates are prison is friendly. Inmates are friendly. Prison ain't friendly. Prison is a well put together organization that's gonna tell you when to go to sleep or lay down or rack up, and they're gonna wake you up and tell you that you need to go to work. They're gonna roll them doors. That's real. Ain't nothing fake about that. For 20 something years, let's say you serve 20 years, that's what you have to face on a daily basis. Somebody telling you when to get up and when to lay down. They used to tell you to cut your lights off. They cut them off for you. You can't even cut your own light on. You can't even. So we are going through something, right? When we locked up. And the men that's locked up, they find out so much about the prison system. They find out that the prison system isn't for them. Then they find out that the men that's in the same uniform that they are in are not about them. Dislikes them. And it's crazy because there's only two colors in prison, and that's white and gray. But the white is against the white. And the gray is done come together to design you for that right there so you don't come together. So you don't come together. And so we find out that we're among some men that don't step up for nothing. Ain't gonna speak out for nothing. But'll be ready to fight another man in white behind the television. That'll be ready to fight another man behind the dominoes. That'll be ready to fight another man behind the Scrabble table. Come on, man. So when we look at these dudes that's making these comments about other channels, I'm more than sure they are the ones that ain't never been to prison. So they never found out why offenders, ex-cons, and these ex-con women's and everything speak the way they speak, talk about the way the things they talk about. Because guess what? It's some things you just can't say about another man, right? But I'm gonna tell you this: I didn't have to deal with all men in prison. I didn't have to accept all men in prison because all men in prison wasn't on the level that I was on. All men in prison wasn't doing what I was doing because, see, it's. I told you about the walls if they can talk, and I mean that when I say that inside the walls they talk. Inside the penitentiary, the walls talk. You can't hide too much. So when we get out here and we doing these channels and we speaking of things that they only heard but never seen because they wasn't built like that, people. They wasn't built like that. See, a coward can kill you. A scary person can kill you. A scary person can hurt you in prison when he done had enough or he done been pushed in that corner to where that's what he have to do. Some people end up in prison on an accident. Some people get killed in prison on an accident. So much that we think about, so much that we talk about. All right. So, and I ask myself, what did I learn in prison? What did I find out in prison after doing all those years? I found out that people in society wanted to know about what was going on inside of prison that they didn't know about. So we enlighten them. We enlighten them on what took place. We say in prison, we learn that in prison that you can dry snitch. You can dry snitch. I ain't never been a dry snitch. I ain't never told nothing. I didn't have to because I didn't put myself in that position to tell it or to dry snitch. Dry snitching is when you and your partner, just you and him, have something going on and one of you all tell another partner about what's going on and he tell it on you. That's dry snitching. That's dry snitching. It's some things you just don't talk about if it's just between you and him. That was the plan. That was the plan, that you wouldn't tell nobody about what we're doing. So if something going on, right? If something was going on between you and him and you told somebody else, so guess what's gonna happen? It's a possibility when the people ride down on you, one of y'all might tell it. One of y'all might tell it. Now, it's being that you don't know who the one that told it on you. See, I'm gonna know who told it on me. Because see, there's some things I'm not gonna do with everybody. I'm gonna do it by myself. So I know I ain't gonna tell it on myself. See, when I went to prison, I went to prison for somebody. I went to prison not so much just for them. I went to prison also for myself because it wasn't like I wasn't doing wrong. I was doing wrong as well and got caught up. I got caught up, but I didn't tell it on myself. The Smith and Weston didn't tell it on me because I was by myself. I was by myself. Some things we do and we have to do is by ourselves. I didn't need a helper to help me succeed in anything. And the only help I asked for was the help of God. Was the help of God. and I succeeded. I was released from prison. I succeeded in law. I succeeded in education. And just as well I succeeded in prison, I'm succeeding out here in society. It's some things, see, I don't have to speak about because, see, if I tell you personally of some things that's going on in my life, guess what y'all are gonna do? Y'all gonna dry snitch, cause you're gonna take it to another man's channel and make a comment about what he's doing and what you feel that he's about. And guess what? You don't even really know. You don't even really know. But that's called dry snitching, which is what you do and what you are doing. And see, and this topic was for some of the comments that some men left. Well, a man, which I feel like is a snitch. I feel like, see, you'll be labeled as a snitch in prison. See, you'll be labeled as a prison because there's some things you can't say, but you don't even know that. So you don't even know that because you just a viewer. You just somebody out there that's going around viewing station and comparing. Compare yourself. Compare yourself because I'm pretty much sure you're already labeled as a snitch, even out there in society. But we learn things in prison. We learn things. It's so much that goes on in prison that can benefit you once you are free. It could benefit you. It could help you. Cause see, if I've been gone 20-something years, that means that if you was 1 years old when I left the streets, you 20-something now, right? So in them 20-something years, I was doing time, and you was in society doing what you do, and you was gaining something. You was gaining your character. You was gaining your way of life. And see, there's some things I can't speak on towards other people. And one thing I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna degrade you as a man if I don't know you as a man. See, so I can't belittle another man status if he was already belittling himself and his character. See, my character in prison wasn't damaged because I lived a certain way. When I was doing so much wrong, even in prison, I was talked about among the administration. As well, I was talked about as those who was living around me. But it's people that didn't like me. It's people that didn't like the way I talk. It's people that didn't like me, period. But guess what they didn't do? They didn't disrespect me. They didn't disrespect me in any way. Yeah, it's some things I might not talk about because see, if I say it on this station, guess what? I'm gonna be dry snitched up on. I'm gonna be dry snitched up on because see, when we find things out in prison that could benefit us even out here in society, then we learned something. We learned that the same men that's in prison is the same men that's out here in society that don't like you, that dislikes you, but they're not gonna disrespect you. They're not gonna disrespect you because they not built like that. They not built like that. You see, I don't like talking about another man being raped, another man being beat up. That's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear. That's what moves you. That's what you like. So when we bring that to the table, when we bring that among these channels, when we bring that to the day room, when we bring that to the chow house, you ain't even ready for it because you're not even built for it. You never knew that this could take place. You never knew that this could happen. Because guess what? You've been respecting them all this time. You've been respecting them all this time. So, hey, remember, when you tell somebody about Just Release, tell them hit that like button. Tell them hit that like button because ain't no telling what I might come back with next.